Good morning, students. I hope you are doing well at your homes. Now we are going to start the new topic, that is the last topic of your syllabus, that is the orthographic projection. So the topic is orthographic projections. Now these are the course outcomes: to make the students through thorough in understanding and using the various concepts, elements and grammar of engineering graphics, enhancing imagination, visualization, presentation and interpretation skills, to understand engineering drawing as a formal and precise way of communicating information about the shape, size, feature and precision of physical objects, to accurately and ambiguously capture all the geometric features of a product or a component, the conversion of 2D drawings into 3D and vice versa. So the main thing is we are going to learn the basic fundamentals of the orthographic projection by making the projections for the actual objects. That is, the pictorial view of the object will be given and we are bound to find the front view, top view and side view of those objects in the orthographic projection, and we'll be using two systems of projections, that is first angle projection and third angle projection. Now, and these are the course objectives. The students may be able to understand the difference between first angle and third angle projection. So, draw the orthographic projections in first and third angle projections. Identify the three dimensions of an object. Determine the views necessary to describe an object in multi-view drawing. Now, introduction. Orthographic projection. Ortho means at right angle. As you are aware of the fact that in orthographic projection we are observing all the three views at mutually perpendicular to each other. So ortho means at right angle and orthographic means right angled drawing. When the projectors are perpendicular to the plane on which projection is obtained, it is known as orthographic projection. Type of technical drawing in which different views of an object are projected in different reference planes, that is the horizontal plane, the vertical plane and the profile plane. Profile plane is meant for side view, horizontal plane is meant for top view and the vertical plane is meant for the front view, right? So all the three views, these are observed at mutually perpendicular to the different reference planes as well as at right angle to each other, right? So for example, the front view, top view and side views are drawn by observing perpendicular to each other. Now you should know that what is the default reference plane for making the front view, top view and side view. Now for front view, the vertical plane is always the reference plane. For top view, the horizontal plane happens to be the reference plane all the times, and for profile plane is the reference plane for making the side view, right? So these are the default reference planes for making the different views, right? Now moving on to the next slide. Now first of all, you know about these planes. We have discussed about these planes when we did the projection of points, projection of lines, projection of planes and projection of solids, right? So these are the two types of planes, right? So broadly categorizing the planes, the first one is the principal plane. First broad category is principal plane, in which the horizontal and vertical planes are there, and you can see these are the principal planes, the vertical plane and the horizontal plane. And the second broad category is auxiliary planes, in which the auxiliary inclined plane, as you can see, it is the auxiliary inclined plane, the plane which is inclined to horizontal plane and perpendicular to the vertical plane. Similarly, second is the auxiliary vertical plane. Here it is the vertical plane which is perpendicular to horizontal plane and inclined at some angle to the vertical plane. And the third, which you will be using for making the side view, it is the profile plane, and profile plane is mutually perpendicular to both horizontal as well as the vertical planes. Now, how to make the orthographic projections, right? So one should be familiar that we are going to make the front view, top view and side view in which quadrant, right? So there are basically two broadly used methods. One is first angle projection method and second is the third angle projection methods. Second and fourth angle projections are never used. The reason you know well that in second angle projection and fourth angle projection, the views are getting overlapped with each other, right? So that is why we do not use the second angle and fourth angle projection. When the overlapping problem is there, then the observer or viewer is not able to get any meaningful information out of those drawings, right? So we are using only first angle and third angle projection methods. So in first angle projection method, here the views are drawn by placing the object in the first quadrant, right? So front view, which is above XY line is our ground line or reference line, right? So it is the dividing line of the horizontal and vertical plane. Horizontal plane and vertical plane are our principal planes, right? So here the front view is drawn above XY line and top view is drawn below XY line, right? So in third angle projection, it is exactly opposite to the first angle projection. Here the views are drawn by placing the object in the third quadrant, right? So, but in first angle projection, the object is in the first quadrant, third angle it is in the third quadrant, right? So here it is exactly opposite of the first quadrant. The front view is below the XY line and top view is above XY line, right? So these are the symbolic presentation of both the methods with an object standing on HP, ground, or on its base, right? So note here it is HP term which is used in first angle method, right? So basically HP and ground is one and the same thing. But in case it is the first angle projection method, then we use the term HP, and if we are using the third angle projection method, we use the term ground. It is just a convention, right? So moving on to the next slide. So the method of drawing the orthographic projection, right? So first one is the first angle projection, right? So here the object is assumed to be placed in the first quadrant. Accordingly, the projections are drawn, right? And object is placed in between the observer and plane of projection. Now, in front of observer, that is you. When you are the observer, then in front of you is the vertical plane, always, right? So when the vertical plane is in front of you and you are in front of the vertical plane, then the object is in first quadrant. It means the object is in between the observer and the plane of projection, right? Here it is the object, right? And now for observing the different views, that is front view, top view and side view, the front view is obtained on this vertical plane, which is the default plane for getting the front view, right? Now for getting the top view, it is the horizontal plane, that is the default reference plane for getting the top view, and for side view, you know, it is the profile plane which is required to get the side view, right? So it is the default reference plane. Now one should be very much clear here that the object can be viewed from either side, that is from left side as well as from right side. When we are viewing from the left side, then the view is observed on the right side of the object, on the profile plane. Similarly, if we are observing the object from the right side, then view will be obtained on the profile plane, which is on the left of the object, right? So these are the actual pattern of the planes and views in first angle method of orthographic projection, that is first angle projection. Here the resulting views are drawn on the opposite side. For example, the top view is drawn below the front view and the bottom view is drawn above the front view, right? Similarly, if it is the side view, then which side view? Whether it is the left side view or right side view. The left side view is drawn on the right of the front view and right side view is drawn on the left of the front view, right? So now moving on to the third angle projection, that is our next method of projection. Here, as usual, the object is obtained in the assumed in the third quadrant, right? So accordingly the projections are drawn. Now here it is the transparent plane of projection which is in between the observer and the object, right? So actually the object is in the third quadrant, right? And observer default location is always in front of the first quadrant, in front of the first and fourth quadrant, means in front of the vertical plane, right? So when the object is in the third quadrant, it means there is a transparent plane, vertical plane, which is in between the object and the observer, right? So in third angle projection, we assume all the planes, that is the horizontal and vertical planes, to be the transparent planes, right? So here, this is the object, right? Here it is ground and here it is the horizontal plane, right? So top view is always obtained on the horizontal plane, right? Now when we have to obtain the front view, it is obtained on this vertical plane. Similarly, when we have to obtain on the side view, here it is the left side view, right? So left and right sides are decided with respect to the position of the observer. When observer is in front of the vertical plane, then here it is the left side of the observer. So here it is the left side view which is obtained on the profile plane, right? So this is the side view, right? So these are the actual patterns of the planes and views in third angle projection, orthographic projection, right? So here the resulting views are drawn on the same side, right? Means the top view is drawn above the front view and bottom view is drawn below the front view. Similarly, the left side view is drawn on the left side of the front view and right side view is drawn on the right side of the front view. Means if we are making the same problem in the first angle projection and in the third angle projection, then the third angle projection happens to be exactly opposite of the first angle projection. Means in first angle projection the front view is above and top view is below, right? So in third angle projection it is opposite, top view is above and front view is below. Similarly, the left side view in case of first angle projection, it is on the right side of the front view, but here in third angle projection it is on the left side of the front view. This is how the different views are drawn. And one thing I should mention here is that whenever we are extracting these different views from the pictorial view of some object, some actual object, right, then one should be very much clear that we have to make use of the projector lines, right? So usually first we make the front view when we are making in this, right, because we have to show all the three views. In the case of this first angle projection as well as in third angle projection, we have to show all the three views, right? So when we have made the first view, suppose in third angle projection we have made the front view, right? So then we'll be making use of the projector lines to get the top view, right? So the front view and top view should be mutually connected with the help of projector lines. Same is the case with the front view and side view. The two views should be mutually connected with the help of projector lines. Similarly, when we have to make the top view and side view, they should also be connected with the projector lines, right? So we'll be seeing in the next slides how this is done. Now these are the standard default symbols for the first angle projection and the third angle projection, right? So this is the symbol which is used for the first angle projection and this is the symbol which is used for the third angle projection. Means two concentric circles are drawn on the right side in case of first angle projection and two concentric circles are drawn on the left side in case of third angle projection, meaning that both the two systems are exactly opposite to each other. Now here it is the pictorial representation of the first angle and third angle projection, right? So it is the horizontal plane you can see and here it is the vertical plane. Here it is the viewing direction of the observer, means observer is standing in front of the first quadrant and fourth quadrant, right? So here some object is placed in the first angle projection, first quadrant meaning it is the first angle projection. Here the same object is placed in the third quadrant meaning it is the third angle projection, right? So here it is the front view which is obtained on this vertical plane and here it is the top view which is drawn on this horizontal plane, right? So similarly, if we have to get the side view also, the left side view or right side view, the left side view will be obtained on the profile plane which is on the right of this object. Similarly, the right side view will be obtained on the left of the profile plane of this, right? So similar, exactly opposite system is followed in the third angle projection, right? So here it is the front view which is obtained on this, right? So front view is also called by the name elevation, as you are aware, right? And similarly, top view is also known by the name plan, right? So the three different names of the front view is front view, elevation, and the vertical projection. Similarly, the three different names of the top view is top view, plan, and horizontal projection, right? So these are the two systems of projection which are simultaneously shown in this quadrant system. Now coming to the next topic, next slide. Here the object is in this case of orthographic projection, the objectives observed in the all the three directions, means we have to mention all the three dimensions of the object, right? So the direction should be normal. Obviously it is the orthographic projection, that is why they are normal, means perpendicular to each other. Similarly they should be perpendicular to the respective planes also, right? So and now project the three different views on these planes, that is HP, VP and PP. HP means horizontal plane for top view, VP means vertical plane for front view, and PP means profile plane for side view, right? So these views are front view, top view and side view, right? So front view is a view which is projected on the vertical plane, also called by the name vertical projection or elevation. Similarly, top view is a view which is projected on the horizontal plane, also known by the name plan or horizontal projection. Similarly, side view is the view which is projected on the profile plane, right? So the position of the side view is always on either side of the front view, right? So if it is first angle projection, then the left side view is on the right of the front view and right side view is on the left of the front view. But in case it is the third angle projection, then left side view is on the left of the right front view and right side view is on the right of the front view. Moving on to the next slide. Now we are going to make the actual some problems, right? So this is object for which we are going to extract the front view, top view and side view, right? So here you can see this is the side from which we are going to observe the front view, right? So what you will be observing in the front view, this pink shaded portion, right? So this portion as well as this portion which will be seen in the front view. Similarly, it is obtained here, right, on the vertical plane, right? And now to observe the top view, we need to have the horizontal plane, and what are the portions of this drawing which will be visible in the top view? This L and this green shaded areas, right? So these are the three areas which will be visible in the top view on this horizontal plane. Similarly, if we have to observe the side view, right, so obviously it is the left side view, right? Which portions will be visible? These firozi color, right? So these 1, 2 and 3, sea green, you can say it is the sea green color. These three portions will be visible in the side view, you can see here, right, to be obtained on this profile plane, right? So here in orthographic pattern, how it is shown, first of all we make the reference line, that is the XY line as usual, right? Then we place the front view. It depends in which quadrant system we are making. If we are making it in the first quadrant, that is the first angle projection, then front view is to be placed above the horizontal line, right? So here it is the front view which is placed above this XY line and in line with it vertically downwards below the front view, exactly in line with the front view, we are going to place the top view, right? Now since it is the first angle projection, the left side view is to be placed on the right side of this front view, right? So here we are placing this side view. Now if you see all these three views, you observe from these three views that these three views are mutually connected with the help of projector lines, right? So once you have made one view, right, then you can make the other views very easily with the help of projection lines. I will be showing how to make this on software in my next lecture, which will be uploaded very shortly, right? So here it is the left side view and here it is the top view, right? So now taking another example, right? So we are taking the front view from this side, right? So it will be the area which will be visible in the front view. This portion and this portion, it is hidden behind this portion, right? So that is why this it is shown by the help of hidden lines. Front view, right? Now for top view, the area which will be visible will be this top surface, this surface and this surface, right? So these are the surfaces which will be visible in the top view, right? Similarly, if we have to observe the side view, then the surfaces which will be visible in this view will be these sky blue surfaces, that is this surface and these two surfaces, right? So these are the surfaces which will be visible in the side view. Now since we are making it in the first quadrant or first angle projection, then in orthographic pattern we are showing it on the XY line. Always all the views all the three views should be placed with respect to the XY line, which is our ground line or reference line, and it is the main base of our orthographic projection, right? So here it is the front view which is placed above the XY line. Why? Because it is the case of the first angle projection, and in first angle projection front view is to be placed above XY line, top view below XY line, right? So exactly in line with it, vertically downwards we are going to place this top view. Similarly, when we have to obtain the side view, the horizontally rightwards, since it is the left side view, it is going to be on the right side of this front view, right? In case of the first angle projection, right? So the portions of this object which are not visible from any particular view, those portions are shown hidden, right? So here whatever portion is not seen, that portion is to be shown hidden, right? Take another example. This is another object, right? So here in front view what will be visible? This portion, this portion, this portion and this portion. These are the four portions which will be visible in case of the front view. Similarly, in case of top view, the green portion, which is slanting portion, will be visible, and these two pink surfaces will be visible in case of the top view. Similarly, if we are making the side view, the slanting portion green again is visible in this, and along with this, which portion is visible? This portion and this portion, right? this blue portion, it is partially visible, right? Since the length is so much, but here it is not visible to the complete length, since this green portion is covering it, right? So that is why the approximately half of this blue portion is visible, right? So you should imagine which portion is visible in which particular view, right? So now these are the different views, and these views should be placed with respect to the XY line, right? Now we are going to place it with respect to the XY line. In orthographic patterns, how it is shown? The front view, this is the front view, and it is shown above XY line because it is the case of the first angle projection. Similarly, here it is the top view which is shown below this XY line, which is the default location of the top view below XY line, right? So in case of the first angle projection, similarly it is the side view, which is actually it is the left side view, so it has to go to the right side of the front view, right? So but you should mind it that all the three views should be mutually connected with the help of projector lines. So each and every detail should be mutually connected with the help of the projector lines, right? So these are some examples which I have taken in the case of the first angle projection, right? So if the same drawing is to be made in the third angle projection, the same views are to be made, but only thing that will change will be the position of the views with respect to each other, right? So moving back to the slide of the third angle projection, I can show you that these are the views which can be placed with respect to the XY line in the opposite pattern, right? What is the opposite pattern? You can see here, right? Here, this is the pattern of placing the views in case of the third angle projection, right? So where top view is to be placed above XY line, front view below XY line, right? So if it is the left side view, then it has to be placed on the left of the front view, and if it is the right side view, it has to be the right side on the front view, right? So one thing you should be very much careful that the side view, whether it is the left side view or it is the right side view, either in the case of first angle projection or in the case of third angle projection, the side view is always going to be placed on either side of the front view only. It is never to be placed on either side of the top view. What common mistakes the student commit is that students place the side view on either side of the top view, which is totally wrong. Whether it is in first angle projection or it is the case of third angle projection, the side view has to be on either side of the front view only, right? So now moving ahead, actually we have covered all the problems which are here in this, right? So now what is the applications of this orthographic projection, right? So the applications are very obvious, right? So these are used for making the actual drawings of the in case of civil engineering, in case of mechanical engineering, in case of all the branches of engineering, right? So where we have to describe the object completely with the help of front view, top view and side view, right? So suppose you are going to make the some building, right? Then you should know what is the front view of the building, what is the top view of the building and what is the side view of the building, right? So orthographic projections are used to see the front view, top view and side view of the different parts of the various machine. In case of civil engineering, these can be the detailed drawings of the building, right? So similarly it can be used, it can be the different parts of various machines. The machines can be related to electrical, it can be related to civil, it can be related to mechanical, it can be related to computer science and so on, right? So the machines can be related to, computer is also a machine, right? Similarly the mobile phone is also a machine, right? The fan is also a machine. So these are the different applications of the orthographic projections, right? So these are the FAQs which are asked for the 2 marks questions, right? So when your final paper will be there, right? So what are the symbols for the first angle and third angle projection? I have shown the symbols in the slide. How can the views drawn in first angle and third angle projection differentiated, right? So here we can differentiate the views in first angle projection. If the front view is above XY line, top view is below XY line, then it is the case of the first angle projection. Similarly, in case of third angle projection, the top view is above XY line and front view is below XY line, right? Next question is, what is the position of the object, observer and plane of projection in case of first angle projection? It can also be asked in the case of third angle projection, right? So in first angle projection, the object is in between the observer and the plane of projection, and in third angle projection, the transparent plane of projection is in between the object and the observer, right? So why are the views drawn on opposite side in first angle projection, right? So the views are drawn on the opposite side in first angle or third angle projection. The reason being that the front view and top view should be drawn on different reference planes, right? So front view is drawn on the vertical plane and the top view is drawn on the horizontal plane, right? So in case of first angle projection, the front view is above XY line and top view is below XY line. Means the vertical plane in case of first angle projection is above XY line, and horizontal plane, which is rotated at an angle of 90 degree as the convention is, so it goes below the XY line, right? So in case of third angle projection, it is opposite. The vertical plane is below XY line and the horizontal plane is above XY line. Second and fourth angle projection are never used. Reason I have already explained, that the problem of overlapping is there in case of second and fourth angle projection. Means when the HP is rotated clockwise 90 degree, it overlaps the vertical plane. In case of second angle projection, the horizontal plane overlaps the vertical plane above XY line, and in case of the fourth angle projection, the horizontal plane overlaps the vertical plane below XY line. That is the reason we never use the second angle and fourth angle projection in practice, since the overlapped views never give the complete picture or complete information about the objects, right? So these are the recommended books and references, right? So this is a pattern. You already know the pattern of our assessment, right? So thank you very much.